Raggy, retro review.
Like Soink Scoob, we're getting a review in 2024, man. That's right, we got Scooby-Doo. Where are you? 1969, the OG, triple OG of Scooby-Doo, all right? We're talking about one of the holy grails in the cartoon universe, the cartoon franchises right now, okay? This is personally a monumental moment for me because this is pure nostalgia. The greatest drug known to man, taking you back from your adulthood and ex-girlfriends who cause you terrible, terrible life choices. Sorry, Felicia, I'm choosing Scooby-Doo over you, just personal matters. And it takes you back to that beautiful time of your childhood, man. I love Scooby-Doo. Top 3 cartoons that are untouchable. Ben 10, the original, and even Alien Force. Teen Titans, the original, not Teen Titans Go bullshit. Just saying. And Scooby-Doo. And the shows that I remember out of Scooby-Doo are A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, one of the most fun. You have Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, what I'm reviewing today. And you have What's New Scooby-Doo, arguably my favorite show because it's a beautiful mix of stuff. You also have the movies. You have Cyber Chase. You have Witch's Ghost. You have Zombie Island. You have Chill Out Scooby-Doo. You have the Yahoo one with the Hex Girls. Hex. Lead singer of Hex Girls. Damn. Yeah. And then you have that Chupacabra one when you realize, they're getting cultural, they're throwing in some international stuff. Shout out to them. But yeah, we're talking about Scooby-Doo, Where Are You today? And this is the most OG of the Scooby-Doo shows, and my God, is it fun. I watched the first season. I'm going to be going on a binge through Scooby-Doo and making that a new set of reviews on this channel. So yeah, I finished season 1 of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? 1969. And man, it was a nostalgia trip. I remember watching this show on Boomerang. I don't know if a lot of you know about Boomerang. Boomerang used to premiere a lot of old shows that were even older than me, such as like Huckleberry Hound. And there was the MGM cartoon series, which was like a different version of like Looney Tunes in a way. And you had Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? That was on there, and man, is it great. This first season is quite fun. It's not as deeply layered as some of the other later Scooby-Doo shows, and even starting season 2 right now of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? I have not, I guess, it takes quite a progressment, is that even a word? It takes quite a good progression in terms of adding more layers and adding more gimmicks and unique factors. And I've not watched a Scooby-Doo show, which a lot of people say is like one of the best. I asked somebody if the Scooby-Doo show was the one from Cyber Chase where all those villains like Gator Ghoul and the Jaguaro and guys that came at the end of Cyber Chase. They're like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I haven't watched a Scooby-Doo show for some reason. I'm going to go watch that as well. But even though this is not the most complex or the most layered, I just think it's fun. This fits the formula of what the Mystery Gang and Scooby-Doo basically is kind of supposed to be, because this is kind of like the major layout, and this was the show that basically made it kind of popular. I mean, Pup Named Scooby-Doo is popular, but this is basically like that starting point. And it's fun. A lot of these episodes are fun. They have a great style to it. One of the biggest compliments I gotta give Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? 1969 is I love the vibe of it. First of all, the animation, I just love. And it's got some really creepy shots in there. One of the episodes I'm going to talk about has a really creepy castle shot in this, like, I guess, like, it's like an island, a creepy castle, and then water around it with fog. The shots in this show look great. The shots for the settings look really creepy. The villain designs, I think, are pretty good for it being a, older cartoon. I love the soundtrack. I love, some of the creative stuff they do with it. You got villains like the Phantom Shadows from Night of Fright is No Delight. You have the clown from the Bedlam at the Big Top. You have, what is it? The Spooky Space Kook. The Spooky Space Kook is one that kind of shocked me as a kid, because I thought that was super creepy. Where he's like, ah! I can't do the laugh, but it's kind of like this crazy, crazy laugh. And he lights up and he's like skull with the blue astronaut and a red glowing light in his astronaut helmet. Crazy stuff. But it's a super fun show. And I love the dynamic between the Mystery Gang. The Mystery Gang has to be probably my favorite cartoon friend group that I've seen. They all just feel natural. Like when you watch this show, you just naturally like them. You just naturally like these guys. You want to follow them for some reason, and you want them to succeed. That's just how it is. And it's very kind of modern because they're all very different. You know, people don't give credit to this. The Mystery Gang are all completely different, you know, kind of backgrounds and people that normally would never hang together, normally would never hang out together. These guys are like the different tables in your school for the lunchroom. You don't ever see them hanging out, but they actually hang out together. And it actually kind of makes it cool. Like, you're just like, man, these guys from different backgrounds are hanging out together, and they feel natural. They actually feel like they've been friends for a very long time, which is important because a lot of shows, a lot of cartoons sometimes make these friend groups that don't feel like they're natural and have been together for a long time. No, these guys feel like they've been together for a long time, and you support them all the way. You have Fred. Fred is kind of very preppy kind of guy, kind of macho, masculine guy, very preppy, but he's very, you know, work-oriented, very organized. He's always trying to find out the mystery, trying to figure out the clues, kind of like that head honcho, the leader of the group, leading the way. You have Daphne, this very beautiful, my first cartoon crush until the lead singer of the Hex Girls came in which case, gotta move aside, Daphne. This is like a Shigo and Kim Possible thing. It's like I rock with Kim Possible, and then I see Shigo, I'm like, damn, I'm trying to get her prego, you know what I mean? I see the Hex Girl, and I'm like, hey, put a hex on me, you know what I'm saying? Move to the side, play my shit like a guitar, you know what I mean? That's how it is. But Daphne, you know, very beautiful. She's kind of like, I guess, like the rich girl, kind of like, you know, she's kind of got like that rich girl personality. I think they're rich, or maybe Fred was rich. They both seem kind of rich and up there, you know, very sort of just girly girl, feminine. You have Velma, who's like an encyclopedia, super smart, super logical, blind as a bat. Yo, when she loses those big bifocals, she's blind as a bat, the blindest thing on earth. You have Scooby, obviously the comedic relief, and Shaggy, comedic duo. I love Shaggy and Scooby. We all love Shaggy and Scooby. Arguably one of the best combos ever. Funny. Scooby-Doo is they may even bring it up in the show. He's a real ham. You got a lot of little funny moments in it. And Shaggy's obviously real goofy. They make a great combo. And overall together, this is a great friend group. So you're gonna enjoy that in season 1, I think. And in terms of my overall like review, I guess, of season 1, even though it is pretty formulaic and pretty simple, I think it has a lot of fun concepts, a lot of variety to it, and it does have some good episodes. So let me highlight some of my favorite episodes from season 1 and just kind of give a talk about it. I'm going to do another video that's going to be a ranking of all 17 episodes in season 1, maybe later or right after this. But right now I'm just going to be talking about just like an overall summary of which were the ones that highlighted to me and which were the few ones that I thought were kind of, you know, duds in a way. So the ones that I thought were pretty good and actually impressed me quite a bit. First of one I'm going to cover is because I covered this actually in a cartoon collab that I did with Ultimate Goosebumps Man, who you may know, and Goosebumps Completionist, who you most likely should know. And that was A Night of Fright is No Delight. This, to me, is the best episode in season 1. And again, it was one of the highlight episodes I brought up in that cartoon collab for, you know, scariest cartoons. The Phantom Shadows are an absolutely great villain. They have a great design. They're very scary, the way they scream, the way they rattle with the chains, the way you have the shadow form and the physical forms, and the fact that there may or may not even be, you know, more than one villain. Very scary, very terrifying. I love the setup of A Night of Fright is No Delight. That's a tongue twister if you say it like 50 times. Night of Fright is no delight, Night of Fright is no delight, Night of Fright is no delight. The way I like the episode is because it has an actual plot. You have the fact that Scooby-Doo saved this eccentric millionaire, and now he's being invited out to his basically like mansion, abandoned mansion on the island front. And basically, if he survives one night at this haunted manor, he inherits, you know, like a fifth, like $200,000, so a fifth of the $1 million fortune. And whoever does not make it out of the 5 potential heirs, that amount gets transferred to the other people who are left remaining. So you kind of have that going on. Great plot line. I can imagine it as an adult concept too. Even if they wanted to make this an adult concept, something you'd see in Creepshow or Darkside. I could imagine that easily, which is part of why I like this episode. And yeah, it's scary, it's got good villains, it's got a good premise. It was a really good episode, so that's definitely one I'd recommend checking out. Another one I enjoyed a lot is the Gaggle of Galloping Ghosts. These titles, man, these are some tongue twister titles. We struggling over here, all right? We struggling, but we making it through. A Gaggle of Galloping Ghosts is basically an homage to Universal Monsters. You have 3 villains in here, which are all Universal Monsters: Werewolf, Dracula, and Frankenstein. And it's all surrounded around, again, a haunted castle. And it's great, man. This is a really fun one. It's especially fun because you get 3 different types of villains. And again, Universal Monsters. You get homages to the Universal Monster gimmicks, like Dracula, Frankenstein's lab, you know, the whole bat thing, the werewolf with the full moon. It's a lot of great stuff. And I thought this episode was pretty fun. It actually had a lot of different, like, action scenes and gags throughout it, which I think actually makes it pretty interesting. And again, it makes it more, I guess, enjoyable because you have villains that you actually recognize from, you know, stuff outside of the show. And on top of that, you know, it's more than one. So you get a lot more dynamics, a lot more stuff for the Mystery Gang to do, and gives them more an active role. Another one, which is a great episode, which is actually one that my fellow friend Monster Blood and fellow Scooby-Doo enjoyer told me about, was the Backstage Rage. And this one's actually a pretty unique episode setup because it actually starts off with Scooby-Doo and Shaggy away from the gang. So they're actually heading back to their house. They're bringing a pizza because they're always hungry. And they eat some of the most stoned. That's how you know Shaggy was a stoner and so was Scooby. They be eating some of the most random stuff known to man, bro. They be eating like pepperoni pizza with chocolate sauce and whipped cream. Ugh, stoner food. Maybe it hits, you know, when you're off the banyan, but as a sober man, it don't sound too good. So they're heading back home, and what happens is, you know, Scooby-Doo is meant to watch something, and this mysterious figure, this Jeepers Creepers looking figure in this, like, basically like this what is it? Corvette, basically rolling down, or Chevy Impala is rolling down the street at night, and this briefcase is thrown out there. And when Scooby and Shaggy open up this briefcase, it's got all this money. It's got like thousands of dollars in there. They're like, what the heck? And the thing drives off. Shaggy kind of tries to go like chase after it or find out who left it behind. And then when Scooby's left alone, he gets lured by a trap and then the briefcase is taken. However, one of the notes is left behind and it's actually a counterfeit $20 note. So when they bring it to the Mystery Gang and they're trying to investigate, they may think that this is kind of like a counterfeit Ponzi scheme going on right now. So they're trying to figure out how to get this, you know, back to whoever was the originator of making this counterfeit money. And when they do, they end up at this one shop, which is kind of like a performance shop. It's got like a theater, it's got a stage, it's got ventriloquism puppets. And so the story continues there. Very interesting, very fun. I can see why Monster Blood liked this one. I like this one quite a bit too. It's got a fun setup. It's got a unique setup where it starts off with, you know, part of the gang away from the, you know, the main 5, Scooby and Shaggy by themselves. It's got an interesting scheme. Again, it's like an adult concept. This, you know, creepy figure at night drops briefcase, money, counterfeit scheme. You have to investigate that. Adds an extra layer to the episode. And I thought it was fun as well. The crew investigating through the theater and the different ventriloquism puppets and all that stuff made it super fun. So yeah, I recommend this one as well. Another one that I enjoyed was, this one is memorable to me because of how scary the villain was and a hypnosis factor, which made it fun as well, which is Bedlam in the Big Top. Bedlam in the Big Top is basically a circus episode, and it's about this clown. And the clown from Bedlam in the Big Top, the clown ghost, has got like an iconic design. It just looks naturally creepy, naturally sketchy. Basically, it looks like what you would expect from a haunted or evil carnival. That's what the clown would look like. And it can perform hypnosis. And let's just say the Mystery Gang and some other characters happen to get hypnotized. And as they get hypnotized, you know, they are basically thrown into these different circus situations. And the gang is basically getting split apart and thrown into different directions. And then they have to kind of group together and, you know, solve this. It was fun. I love that hypnosis factor. I love the fact that, you know, certain members of the Mystery Gang became circus acts. That adds an extra layer of fun to it. And it adds a threat level kind of to the villain, because this villain can hit. That's the one thing I like about it, because a lot of the villains oftentimes, they're scary, You know, they're very intimidating, but it's kind of that kind of drives them. But it's not actually that they actually pose a threat. Here in Bedlam in the Big Top, the ghost is not only creepy and scary, but on top of that, it can perform hypnosis. So the mystery gang is actually at risk. It's actually risking the lives of the members of the mystery gang by putting them in dangerous circus acts. That's actually very interesting and fun. So Bedlam in the Big Top is definitely a standout episode. I'd recommend you watch for that, because this is the time that the mystery gang actually faced some struggles. And those are pretty much the standout episodes to me. I can't think of any other ones that hit my mind. Spooky Space Kook has a great villain in terms of the design and gimmick to it. In terms of an episode, it's very sort of formulaic, not really much to it, but it's got a good monster design. I think a clue for Scooby-Doo was the one with the glowing ghost scuba diver. That one is pretty good. It's very standard in terms of what the Scooby-Doo episodes are, but it's good. It has a very creepy shot that I posted on my community post of this. Basically, they're underwater. They go into this abandoned ship, and then there's just this dead scuba diver, hands on the table, underwater, just sitting there ominously. Very creepy shot. It's on my community post. Yeah, that freaked me out seeing that. And yeah, I can't really think of any other ones. Now, there was a couple of duds. There was a couple of dud episodes, and in fact there was two. One of the duds was the, I think, Miner 49er, that one, the one with the mining ghost episode. That one to me was not interesting. It seemed very sort of just boring, and it felt too simple, and even the reveal of the villain was like, what, bro? Like, I saw that from a mile away. Just from the stature and look of the culprit, it very much matched with the, you know, Miner 49er ghost. It wasn't that interesting, just sort of boring. It's just a boring episode. It's not terrible, but it's just boring. And then the one dud that I think is actually quite, like, not good is the one about dog sitting, and it involves that Native American. That to me was like very just sort of weird. I didn't really enjoy it too much. There's also like this like Geronimo ghost, which it just felt a little bit kind of weird. Like, you know, it's playing on that kind of like Native American lore, that kind of stuff. Which for the most part, when I watch it in horror, it either works or doesn't work. And from what I've seen so far in kids horror, it does not work most of the time. And again, the plot was just boring. It's just like dogs. It's like involving dog sitting. This dog gets kidnapped. Scooby-Doo has to basically set up a trap by playing as this, you know, standout Great Dane for this upcoming competition. And then it goes completely in a different direction, because I'm like, why is Native Americans all of a sudden this big thing involved with dog sitting? It was weird. It was strange. I didn't care for it too much. And that's really the only true dud out of the season one. Miner 49er is boring, but this one just felt stupid, and I didn't really care about it. And then the Snow Ghost, which is the last episode. I guess I should talk about the finale. Snow Ghost is a good episode. It's actually quite the fun episode. That one probably I would recommend to you also as like a really good episode. It's really fun. It's got some cool gimmicks to it. It's got that winter setting, which is fun. But the villain reveal was so... It was so I'm talking about so predictable that I was like, bro, it was the most in-your-face villain reveal. That one was just sort of like, ugh. Like, yeah, I saw that from a mile away. But the episode's really fun, so I kind of forgive it for that. And yeah, that's kind of my review of season one. Those are my highlights, my duds of the season. I gave my overall thoughts in the beginning. So what I recommended, of course, this is nostalgic fun. This is that pure old cartoons. The reason why I restarted rewatching Scooby-Doo 1969 was because I just wanted this good show to watch as like old cartoons at late night, just so I could feel good. And watching season one of Scooby-Doo makes me feel good. Same with watching season two right now that I started up. It's just a feel good old cartoon vibe. It's just really good, really fun. And it's great for late night watches. You can just sit back, relax, have some good food, have some good drink, you know, just chill. And then in the ambiance, turn the lights off in your room, you know, maybe turn the lights off, have like maybe like a night light or maybe your computer screen on in the background, just so it lights up the room a little bit. You know, if you have a window, you got that night sky outside, and just enjoy yourself, have a good time, sit back, relax, because life is crazy, life is busy, life throws a lot of hurdles at you. And sometimes you just need an old cartoon to kind of make everything feel better. And that's what it was. It brought me back to my childhood. And it brought me back to why I love Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is definitely the most goated franchise, the most goated cartoon franchise until that modern crap. That's how I feel. But the old stuff is great. Pup Named Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Which is what I covered today. Some other ones, the movies, which I'm all going to be covering. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be talking about Season 2 soon enough. When I finish it, I'll be making a ranking video of all the Scooby-Doo episodes for Season 1, which will be pretty quick. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoy this type of content. If you have not seen Scooby-Doo, Where Are You for some reason, or for, you haven't rewatched it in a long time, please go do so and join me in this journey, and we can have a great discussion down below. Let me know your thoughts about Scooby-Doo, Where Are You Season 1. Let me know your thoughts about the show overall, and let me know what are some of your best memories of Scooby-Doo. What do you remember for nostalgia, and when were you watching it, and what do you miss about it? And yeah, that's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and deuces.
Retro people, go hit that subscribe button and hit that like button.
Like zoinks, BD community. Hit that subscribe button, man, and hit that like button, or else you're not gonna get a Scooby snack. Like, let's skedaddle, dude.